Hardest part about being Caitlin Clark, I would say, having to feel like you're always like on.
We came from Wisconsin.
That is fun.
Ready?
Oh my gosh.
You just have bad days, and there's days where you don't want to talk to anyone, but somebody comes up to you and this is their 10-second interaction with you. So you better smile and be kind. But at the same time, it's just like you just want to be normal sometimes.
Caitlin Clark has just made a massive move, signing a lifetime contract in Europe. After taking the basketball world by storm in the WNBA, she's now heading overseas for a new adventure, leaving fans stunned. Everyone's asking what led her to leave the WNBA so soon. This bold decision is a huge twist in her career, and people can't stop talking about it. So why Europe? What does this mean for her future? Stay tuned as we dive into the full story behind Caitlin's shocking choice and what's next for the basketball star.
What's the difference now in this level of play now that you're playing with these professionals versus who you play with and against at Iowa?
I would say the biggest thing is just you can't take a second off. No matter who you're guarding, no matter if you're on offense or defense, like you breathe for 1 second and you're not looking at your man and she's on the other side of the court. So I think that's the biggest thing is everybody's so skilled. Like this is the most competitive league in the world because there's not that many spots. So every person that's getting on the floor is really, really talented. So I think just, you can't take up one single possession off, whether it's on offense or defense. And, always being aware, I think is the biggest thing.
Caitlin Clark's decision to leave the WNBA after an incredible rookie season and head to Europe has shocked many fans. While she shined on the court and won over countless supporters, her experience in the league wasn't as smooth as it seemed. Despite boosting the WNBA with her talent, the support she needed just wasn't there. Clark faced rough, sometimes dangerous defense from other players and openly voiced her frustration about how the refs barely made calls on the hard hits she took. Elbows, eye pokes, you name it, but it didn't stop there. As a white player in a predominantly black league, she also faced uncomfortable comments from both fans and players, leaving her feeling isolated. With all these challenges, it's no wonder she's seeking new opportunities in Europe. Keep watching to learn more about her bold move and what led her to make this big decision.
Hardest part about being Caitlin Clark, I would say, having to feel like you're always like on.
We came from Wisconsin.
That is fun.
Ready?
Oh my gosh.
You just have bad days, and there's days where you don't want to talk to anyone, but somebody comes up to you and this is their 10-second interaction with you. So you better smile and be kind. But at the same time, it's just like you just want to be normal sometimes.
Caitlin Clark's first season in the WNBA has been packed with intense moments, both on and off the court. When she joined, there were high hopes and big expectations. Coming off an impressive college career, she was known for her incredible skill and passion for the game. However, her rookie journey proved to be more challenging than anyone expected. While her presence was undeniable, the pressure from other players quickly mounted, as it seemed like every team was determined to test her limits and push her to her breaking point.
I think it makes sense, and I know a lot of people are going to have their feelings about it. When you talk Caitlin Clark, there's always opinions circulating. But if you go through what she did in her rookie season, she holds the record for most assists in a game. She set a Fever franchise record for double-doubles, most points by a point guard in a single WNBA season. The list goes on the amount of records that this young woman has broken in her first year as a professional basketball player. I understand that people will say, what about Sabrina? Maybe throw some other names in the mix. But when you look at what Caitlin Clark has done and what her ceiling is, she's only begun to crack into that. And it's exciting to watch. I think it makes sense. And again, let's not even talk about bringing the Fever to their first playoff appearance in years. That in itself was a huge, huge feat, something that the team has really been actively working for throughout the draft, throughout the off season. This is exactly what they wanted. And this is exactly what Caitlin Clark deserves.
And Caitlin Clark didn't just face regular competition. She faced something much harsher. Players defended her with a level of physicality that went beyond standard defense. In several games, she was shoved to the ground or hit with fouls that felt personal. It was almost like they wanted to see how much she could take, testing her resilience. Some might call it part of the game, but you can't help but wonder if there's more to it. Maybe her fame and success rubbed people the wrong way, and their response was to make her fight for every point, almost like a harsh initiation. That it's like starting a new job fresh out of school, full of excitement and potential, only to be met with cold stares and unnecessary challenges. Instead of support, you feel resistance, like everyone's saying, "Prove you belong here." That's been Clark's reality in her rookie season. Her talent and success seem to have provoked something in her competitors that isn't just about basketball. It feels deeper, maybe driven by jealousy or resentment.
When you talk about Caitlin Clark, there's so many other tiers and levels to what she has to deal with as an individual, as a player. You can understand there's a little bit of an adjustment period that you have to go ahead at a grace period, if you will. I think it was only a matter of time, and true basketball fans knew, and anybody who watched her in college knew, it was only a matter of time until she figured it out. And just like all the rookies, you had to give them a little bit of time to do that.
Instead of being welcomed,
it's a growing
Caitlin
process.
Clark found things getting tougher. She was pushed to prove herself in ways others didn't have to face. On top of that, the media has been relentless, covering her every move with an intensity that borders on excessive. When she had an off game, headlines dissected her performance, and when she was at her best, the pressure only grew. For Clark, this meant she wasn't just dealing with tough competition on the court, she was constantly under the media spotlight. Every mistake was magnified, leaving no room for a slip-up. The scrutiny on her has been far more intense than what most rookies experience, adding even more pressure to her already challenging season. And yet, this was just the beginning of the obstacles Clark faced during her time in the WNBA.
Unanimous. Now, to celebrate her, one thing that people forget is as a rookie, she was the most blitzed player in the WNBA, and she still put up 19, 5, and 8 assists, breaking, like you said, the assist record. To be able to do that as a rookie in the face of that much defensive pressure should have been unanimous.
Should have been.
Clark's experience is something many of us can relate to. Think about a time when you entered a new phase in life, a new job, school, or social circle. There's always that pressure to fit in, to prove that you deserve your spot. But sometimes, instead of support, you face unexpected resistance. You try to do your best, but it feels like people are just waiting for you to fail. For Caitlin Clark, this has been her reality. Every game feels like a test, not just of her skills as a player but of her resilience as a person. Adding to the complexity, some have suggested that her identity as a young white star in a predominantly black league may be contributing to the challenges she faces. This has raised questions about whether her struggles go beyond just basketball, touching on deeper issues of race and identity within the sport.
And is Caitlin Clark in the room?
She sure is.
Yeah, Caitlin, it feels like just yesterday when I called your name to the stage as the #1 pick in this year's draft. You held the Indiana Fever jersey for the first time, and what a record-breaking season for you and the entire team, full of outstanding performances. And I know all of you had hard work and dedication, and it's paid off with your playoffs, etc. And I know the best is yet to come. So, congratulations, Caitlin. You are the 2024 Kia WNBA Rookie of the Year.
People say Caitlin Clark faces constant hate, and it's no secret why. She's an incredible player. She's taking deep threes, racking up points, and playing with a style that's redefining expectations for women's basketball. But there's more than just basketball pressure she's dealing with. Clark has found herself at the center of heated conversations about race, identity, and jealousy within the league. Some players have made comments targeting her for her background, appearance, and even her fan base. Despite this, she stays focused on the game, refusing to engage with the negativity, even when the criticism is sharp. She's been publicly called privileged and even accused of having an unfair advantage as a young white star in a predominantly black league. Others claim her fan base harbors certain biases, but the truth is, Clark's supporters extend far beyond these debates. She's admired for her undeniable skills, charismatic personality, and unwavering dedication to the sport. While the criticism continues, she keeps proving herself on the court, letting her game do the talking.
And you see Caitlin Clark, and when you talk about this century, there have only been now 5. Caitlin is the 5th rookie this century to be on the WNBA first team. It's incredible. And that list, Candace Parker, Tamika Catchings, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and now Caitlin Clark. What a special moment for her. Rightfully so. She had a phenomenal season.
I was kind of professional.
Critics, however, paint Caitlin Clark's success as part of a larger racial issue, claiming that she's adored for reasons beyond basketball. Yet Clark consistently avoids getting drawn into the media's attempts to make her a symbol of division. Instead, she focuses on showing respect and resilience. Her situation mirrors what happens in many workplaces when young talent is questioned by more seasoned colleagues. There's often tension when a newcomer shakes things up, especially someone who quickly becomes the center of attention. While some of Clark's fans argue that she's treated unfairly because of her background, she doesn't feed into that narrative. She's here to play ball, staying focused on her game despite all the noise around her. Her ability to rise above it all speaks volumes about her character and determination. Caitlin Clark brought millions of new viewers to the league and created a buzz that hadn't been seen in years. Fans were tuning in to witness her incredible skill, passion, and love for the game. But despite her impact, it seemed like the league didn't fully support her. Imagine having a player who could draw such a huge audience, yet feeling like they weren't being properly valued. It wasn't just about missed foul calls or rough plays. It was about the league missing an opportunity to build up one of its brightest stars. Caitlin herself has said that if she were in charge of the league and had a player who could attract millions, she would do everything in her power to protect, support, and keep. Or is a move to Europe on the horizon? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights.